we are going to study more about the soul. The soul. The soul, the ego, our true self, what we call soul is our true existence. Our real existence is in the form of soul. That is what we call also the ego. Ego that is the consciousness localized. How you can understand the soul and spirit? Spirit is the universal consciousness, the all-pervading universal consciousness is spirit. And the soul or ego, what we call, is localized consciousness. Localized. Spirit is like the unbound space. Unless we take this example, we cannot understand. The unbound space. And when you made a structure, a building like a hall like this, inside also there is space, but this is localized. That is why we call this a hall. Before building a hall, before making a structure, when we see, oh, it is space, we only say it is space, but we don't say it is a hall, it is a house, there is nothing. But when you build something in the space, after that there is space inside also, but then we don't call it space, we call it a house. Then we call it, this is a hall, conference hall, we call this is a bedroom, this is a kitchen, so we give all the names.
Even a swimming pool.
Swimming pool also. So like this we give different names. But all these names are of space only. But we forget about space because we see, oh, this is bedroom, this is kitchen, this is bedroom, like this. But that is also the same space. The space, before making this building, it is space only. After making the building also it is the same space but localized. The same manner, spirit is the universal consciousness. Soul or ego is the localized consciousness. They are one, they are not different from each other. But appears to be limited, not really limited.
But yes, some limitation.
Some limitation is there. Some limitation is there. But even this space, so-called limited space inside the hall, this space is also has the same quality. It is not affected by any of the things inside. If you have put an incense in the hall, you feel the fragrance, but this fragrance you feel, but for the space it makes no difference. Space is above all this. Akasha is above all this. We have space inside us also. Inside the beings. So, this space which pervades the beings is soul or ego. And this ego or the soul is a part of the one big soul, that what we call spirit. So this is the relationship between spirit and soul. This, we must have a clear understanding of this. So ego means localized consciousness. That is the explanation about ego. What is ego? Ego means localized consciousness. So the conscious thinking entity within the human form, it is the conscious thinking entity within the human form. It is the source of psychological health. It is the source. The soul or the ego is the source of psychological health and the great reality in the life of man. Soul or ego is the great reality. All other things are not real. They appear to be real, but the most real, the reality is soul only, the ego. Up below that, all others, they exist but temporarily. Either the body or the structure, or the senses, or the mind with all these layers, or the intellect, all these. That is why when you refer to the soul, then you have to say, I am the soul. That is the only thing. You see, that makes the difference. I have the body, I have senses, I have intelligence, I have mind. All this is what I have. But the soul is what I am. What I am is the only one. What I have are many. What I have are all the qualities. And what I am is the reality. So this is a great reality in the life of man, even if he does not know it. Because how many of us, how much time we remember that our true existence is as soul? We don't remember. Because we live identified either with the body, form, mostly with the form. When I say I am thinking like that, I am feeling, that reference is only the body. We remember, we get identified with the form. Suppose there is pain in the leg, generally immediately what we say, oh, I have pain. I am has no pain at all. It is beyond all this. There is pain. It is true if you say my leg is paining to a certain extent. But if you say I have pain, I will not have any pain. I am is beyond this. But this is because we are identified with the form and we do not remember that our true existence is as soul. That is what is called avidya. 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 Vidya means the light, discrimination, the power to know. Avidya is the opposite. So all our transaction in the mundane life is due to avidya. Avidya, A is and the opposite. Opposite of vidya is avidya. But then one may think that why God has created avidya? Why should there be avidya? Avidya is like ignorance. Vidya is knowledge and avidya is ignorance. Okay. Why God has created avidya? Always, we should remember that we are the soul only. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not this. I am not this. There are certain type of philosophers who say that we have to negate all these things. This is not I am. Body is not I am. Senses are not I am. My mind is not I am. This is not I am. I am only soul. Okay. Then they say avidya should not be there. If it should not be there, why God has created? Who has created avidya? Vidya and avidya are both created by the same Lord. It has its own purpose, its own place. So, to live in this mundane world and to work in this mundane world, we have to make use of avidya, but we should not get indulged in avidya. That is the secret. This is the practice of yoga in its true sense. Being in this mundane world, you should not try to escape from this. Any fellow who wants to escape is a timid fellow. He is not fit for yoga. An escapist cannot be a yogi. That is what the Lord said, confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. If somebody thinks that if I get into marriage, I get into relationship, then I will get into entanglement. So due to this, he says, I will not marry, I will not get into family. But this fellow is a false fellow. If any fellow says he is lazy, and that fellow will be more buried into this. Because I know some fellows sometimes say, I don't want all these things, I am above all this, I want to be above all this. I don't want to get into these attractions, to be above all these things. It is glamour. Yes, is that the question? I found from my experience that a fellow who proclaims this, that I have all these things, I am above all this and I don't want to be entangled, that fellow is more buried and his mind is dwelling more in these things than the other fellows.
Your father will say, poor fellow. Your father will say, poor fellow.
Such fellow is a poor fellow. Not a pure but poor fellow. Yes. That is the glamour. Yeah. So avidya is necessary along with vidya. That is why what the scriptures explain is avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amrutam asnute. Mrityu and amruta. Mrityu means death. Mrityu means death. Amrita means immortality. It is explained that you have to cross the death with avidya. Using the ignorance only you can cross this to attain vidya. You need vidya to get immortality. But before you attain immortality using the vidya or knowledge, you have to use this ignorance to cross over avidya. Cross over mrityu. You have to cross the death by using this avidya. How is that? How can practically, how we have to explain this? This we have to practice everyday life. Suppose I say, my wife is at home and she is my wife. It is avidya, really. Because is she a wife or is she a human being? First question. If I say, oh, she is wife, it is avidya. She is, in reality, she is a human being. And in reality, I am also a human being. I am not the husband, she is not the wife by birth. This we have to remember. These relationships are afterwards, but not from the beginning of our birth. But we feel that she is wife, I am the husband. We forget that. This is because we go more and more buried in the form aspect. But it is okay. We should... Yes. So, if all the time I always remember, oh, it is soul, I am the soul, she is also the soul, one is soul. It is true. She is also a being, so her real existence is soul. My real existence is also soul. So soul and soul, it is okay. But now you are sent into this world to work out. So you have to act. Your real existence is a soul. You are a soul. But you have to act as a being. And you have to act as husband, as wife. You are given an opportunity to act on the stage. This is a stage. Yes. So it is like a stage drama. There you are expected to play your role. You are given a role. You are given a role as husband, she is given a role as wife. So we have certain act, we have to act. It's a play. So the fellow who is playing, the artist who is playing a role, he has to also remember that he is only playing the role. But at the same time, he should play the role as if he is that character. You see? Suppose if in the drama, in one drama, they ask me to play the role of a king. So, in the drama, when I am in the drama and I am acting, I should act the drama just as if I am the king. But at the same time, I should remember I am really not a king, but only an actor. Otherwise, what happens after coming back home? They say, I am the king. Then say, you say, shut up. You are not a king. Because today you have acted as a king, tomorrow you will be asked to act as a beggar. In this life, suppose in this life, I was asked to act as a man and as husband to my wife. So maybe in other birth I will be asked to act as a woman. You should not feel like for anything. Just, it's only to play the role, that's all. So you must be ready to take up any part, any character. It is not decided by you. I say, no, I will only play if you give only the role of a king. I will not play the role of... Yes. So we must accept. Whatever role is given to us, we must happily accept and try to play our with obedience. So in this world, we must take up this and we have to act. But while acting, we should remember we are only acting, not our real, it's not really ours. Really, who I am, we have to remember. So I have to remember I am the soul. this balance, this is yoga. A yogi will be like that. He will be more efficient in mundane world. A fellow who wants to escape from this world can never be a yogi. Oh, all difficulties in family life and all. Yes, there will be. Yeah. Suppose my wife says, I don't agree what you say. Then, oh, I am the husband, you have to agree. This is because if I say I am the husband, but you are not the husband, you are a human being. Remember, you are the soul. But if all the time I remember only I am the soul, then what happens? You go and knock the door, and then she asks, who is that? Oh, I am the soul. So then she says, you can go. A fellow who newly started to study the spiritualism, for this fellow the Guru said, Sarvam Khal Vidam Brahma. Everything is Brahma only. So there is a stanza also in Bhagavad Gita. The one who takes the food is also Brahma. Food is also Brahma. So everything is Brahma. Annam Brahma. And the one who receives Brahma, the one who gives also Brahma. So everything is Brahma. So this fellow thought that, oh, now I got the wisdom. He went home and he called his wife, Mr. Brahma, please come. What happened, Mr. Brahma? What happened to you? She said, oh, you are Brahma, I am Brahma. Okay, now what do you want? I want some Brahma on the table. He is hungry, he wants some food. And he said, please bring a plate and bring some Brahma, Parabrahma. Then she asked, you want rice Parabrahma or vegetable Parabrahma or yogurt Parabrahma? Which Parabrahma you want? Or honey Parabrahma? Everything is Parabrahma. So avidya is also necessary. You should not say avidya should not be there. That is nonsense. Who are you to decide? It is Lord who decides. So vidya and avidya both are necessary. Without avidya you have no existence in this world, mundane world. So this discrimination and all these things are there. But you have to remember your true existence. Your existence as the soul, as the ego. This we have to remember. So this is the balance which we have to always make. Otherwise, we will get involved. That is the problem. If you do not remember that your existence is the soul, then what happens? You get into indulgence, involvement, and imprisoned in this bondage. That is the bondage. We bind ourselves. No others are responsible for this bondage. We are responsible for this bondage. When you get involved or indulged, then you are bound by the emotion and instincts. So your relationships are based on instincts and emotions. And then the experience is terrible experience. Such type of experience is technically called hell. There is nothing like hell somewhere else. There is nothing like heaven somewhere else. It is your experience. Yeah? If you make your life complicated, then your experience is of hell. So therefore, we have to properly understand and remember our real existence. That is what is. Man's soul is a fragment of God. Our soul is a fragment of God. Man's soul is a fragment of God. And as a fragment is partaker of his quality of all his powers. So a fragment has all the quality of the whole. Suppose you have a flower. You take any part of the flower, but it has the same quality of the flower. So since we are fragments of God Himself, we have the same quality. But when we don't realize this, then we are in Maya. Illusion.
So we should be very grateful that we come here from time. Because if you have the positive attitude, I think this helps.
Yes. Because this, when you can realize this, then you are not influenced by
Not so much emotions.
not the emotions and all this. No, first of all, you will have no fear. That is most important. Because fear is a big blockage. Fear causes so many things, like suspicion and anger and all these things. The soul is simply a fused collection of spiritual attributes. Soul is a fused collection of spiritual attributes. A soul's quality, what is the quality of a soul? A soul's quality is the sum total of the attributes of divinity. You have the attributes of divinity, it means divine qualities. So, a soul's quality, if you ask what is the quality of a soul, it is the sum total of the divine qualities. So essentially every being is divine because he is the soul. All the other things are on the superficial level. The other behaviors, the different types of behaviors of the people, of the beings, they are on the superficial level. But essentially, everyone is divine. And this divinity, so a soul's quality is the sum total of the attributes of divinity, which it has succeeded in unfolding. This divinity has succeeded as unfolding, in unfolding. So the quality of the soul quality of a soul is sum total of the attributes of divinity.